Hey everyone, this is Scott Monkern. This week we're going to review The Captain is Dead. This is a game by AEG. It is a reprint of some intellectual property that they purchased. The game is a cooperative game for up to 7 players. It's really interesting to see a co-op game with up to 7 players. I don't think I've seen one with quite that number of players before. Normally co-op games are like 3, 4, maybe 5. Seven's an awful lot. The premise is that you are all officers on a spaceship and that is traveling through space like spaceships do. Uh, the aliens have flown in, the aliens have attacked, they've destroyed all sorts of components on your ship, and you want to fix the jump core and get away from the aliens. And if you can build the jump core before a variety of different potentially bad things happen, you win. Uh, it has a variety of severity levels or difficulty levels from novice, which is still pretty hard to be perfectly honest, all the way through forget it, you just can't win rules. So that's it. So let's talk a little bit about the game, how it works. I'm going to start by talking about uh, kind of the mechanics of the game. The game is played on a board. The board's on a big map. I've got the map right here. It doesn't show very well on this small screen. Let me show it to you. I'll show you a piece of it. There we go. This is the map. You see, it is a map of the spaceship. It's got a bunch of rooms where you can move around, and you have player markers that you got it. Now, each player, there's the player marker. These are very cool, by the way. Each person gets to play a unique and distinct character with special abilities. There are 7 different colors, and within those colors, there are 2 or 3 characters. So each person plays a purple character or a white character, and they all have special abilities, which is really neat. It's asynchronous powers, which I really like. So you draw event cards that cause bad things to happen to the ship, and then the players go around using their special abilities and cards they draw to fix them. So that's kind of basically the game, and the objective of the players is can I keep the ship running? As the ship breaks down, they lose abilities and stuff goes wrong, and nobody ever dies, which is kind of cool. You can, with the exception of one character who can sacrifice himself, he's the red shirt. Uh, you're trying to fix all the components, keep the ship running while someone turns around and fixes the jump core, which takes a lot of effort to fix that jump core. The components, it comes with a board, very nice glossy board. All the components here are really glossy, which kind of fits that science fiction thematic theme. It comes with player cards that look like this. You see here, here's a player card, and alert cards that look like this. These are the bad things that are going to happen. They come in 3 colors. They start with yellow, and then they go to orange, and then they go to red alert. You have ability cards and item cards that look like this. They're kind of a little small, but they work, and that's it. You also have cards that you put on the board itself that indicate whether systems are working or not working, and you flip them over when they break. You also get player markers. These are little player markers here. They are clear, with their own kind of unique base stands. I did have a problem with the game when it came. All the bases were, I'm supposed to have bases of specific colors. They didn't quite match up. There was one of them that was broken. AEG was very good and fixed them, by the way. Here's an alien. That's what an alien looks like. See here. Wow, alien. That's it. They're kind of subject to fingerprints, which is kind of common with plastic ones. And then we've got our torpedoes. Nice little torpedoes, which you can launch. I thought those were kind of fun. So those are the components. The components are good quality. The clear plastic is kind of nice with the stands and everything. The torpedoes are it's funny because you just launch torpedoes. It's not like you need them specifically, but it's kind of a neat feature. The cards are good. The board is glossy. It's all good. So all in all, I'd say the components are pretty good. And the way you use cards on the board to show whether systems are functioning or non-functioning is kind of neat. Now, those are the components. Let's talk about the rule book. First of all, I always say, what do we need? Player reference cards. If you go here on your player card, on the back of it, player reference cards, and it basically tells you for one action you can move 2 spaces, kill a hostile alien, carry another player space, give a skill or tool to another player, or take a skill or tool. And then on the front it has the player special ability. So nice player reference cards, works very, very well. The rule book itself, this is it. Nice color glossy rule book, and we've got yet again kind of a player reference card on the back. Tells you what it is. Also tells you all the different spaces and all the different spaces and what they do. Nice pictures. I always tell people I'm going to talk about this here pretty soon. Nice pictures explaining all the components and what they are. Has a setup section, and then um, basics of how the game work. So it says basics of how the game work. Then what you do before you begin, and then play. I found it pretty good. I didn't see any huge issues with it. It's got a few variants in the back, and some suggestions on strategy on how to potentially win because it's kind of a challenge to win sometimes. So the rulebook is good. Player reference cards. I kind of wish the player reference cards had a little more information on them than just here's the stuff you can do on every turn, but it was certainly pretty good. The mechanics of the game. The mechanics of the game are really, really simple, which is basically you can move, you can use your special ability, you can repair stuff, and there's a couple other things. They're really easy to learn the mechanics. There's no dice rolling involved. There's no complex tables to remember or anything. Um, the only really challenge is remembering, okay, things like if the um, radio is on and the teleporter is on, I can use the teleporter to go anywhere. There are a few kind of challenging things you have to learn along the way. But once you learn that, it works pretty good. So the rules are good. The rules are easy to learn. The play style is a lot of fun. It is subject to a little bit of the alpha gamer rule. It's not quite as bad as something like Pandemic, where the big puzzle solving alpha gamer will say, well, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do this. I found that with the gaming crew that I was with, there was a lot more talking where you go take care of the torpedo room, I will go take care of the communications room, and we'll let the hologram take care of the computer because, well, he's stuck in the computer room anyway. So there's a lot more talking, but it does have a little alpha gamer thing going on. Do I like this game? This is a really fun game. It's easy to teach. It supports a lot of players, and even at large player, I think it plays better at large player numbers than small. I think with 2 or 3 players, it's an okay game. At 7 players, it's a blast. You just really get that feeling like you're in the last 5 minutes of that episode, and everything's falling apart, and so on and so forth. So, definitely a lot of fun to play. The components are just really nice and shiny and very different. You don't see those clear stands very often, which I really like. So if you see this on your local gaming store, definitely pick it up. It is worth a try. Or if you don't see it, check to see if someone around you has it and see if they're willing to let you play it. So that is A Captain is Dead.